As a delivery driver, you will be operating the Teledyne Princeton Piggyback Material Handler. To make loading and unloading as easy and safe as possible, our trucks are equipped with this unique material handler that is powerful, maneuverable, and very easy to operate. It is obvious to see how the piggyback got its name. Let's go through the steps that are required to unhook and lower the piggyback. To get to work, pull the power connector that supplies DC power during transport. Release the first safety support chain and unhook the first safety locking bar. After completing the same steps on the far side, you can climb aboard. Remember, always fasten your seat belt. To preheat the engine, turn the key to the left and hold for 20 seconds. Then turn the key to the right to start the engine. Before lowering yourself, check to make sure the rear drive wheel is straight. To lower the piggyback, pull the lift lever and lower the front of the piggyback to the ground. Then push the tilt lever to lower the rear drive wheel to the ground. That's it. Just 7 quick and easy steps. Let's review them again. Step 1, pull the DC power connector. Step 2, release the safety support chain. Step 3, unhook the safety locking bar. Step 4, unhook the safety chain and locking bar on the opposite side. Step 5, climb up, fasten your seatbelt, and preheat and start the engine. Step 6, check to make sure the rear drive wheel is straight. Step 7, lower the front of the piggyback to the ground, then tilt to lower the rear wheel. The piggyback is simple to operate. Heavy-duty hydrostatic wheel motors and tractor-style tires provide sufficient power and traction for all normal delivery conditions. The piggyback's specially designed hydrostatic steering system provides quick and easy control. The piggyback responds instantly. It turns quickly in its own length and permits you to deliver virtually any load anywhere the customer wants it. You should never operate the piggyback under extremely wet or other conditions where proper control cannot be maintained. Use common sense and always think of safety first. Your piggyback is equipped with a special track lock feature, which further helps the piggyback's normal 3-wheel drive operation. If you should ever get stuck, you can pull yourself out as easy as this. First, make sure the piggyback is completely stopped. Then engage the track lock, and that's it. You should be able to drive away easily. Controls for all the piggyback's major systems are on this panel. The tilt lever gives you precise fork control. To lift any load, pull the lift control to position the forks at their full height. Push to bring the forks down smoothly. Push the carriage lever away from you to move the carriage out. Pull it back toward you, the carriage moves in. The stabilizer control can lift the front of the piggyback right off the ground. Pull the control to lower the piggyback. This knob engages the track lock. To engage, just pull. 3-wheel drive increases your maneuverability and is engaged at all times. Remember, you always want to be stopped while engaging or disengaging the track lock function. This material handler is designed to be extremely stable, even under a full load. But don't hot dog it. This could lead to injury. The correct way to pick up and carry a load from a truck or the ground is to pull up as close as possible with the carriage fully extended. Once you're in position, lower the stabilizer legs for maximum stability. Remember that when the mast and carriage are fully extended, you must extend the stabilizer pads fully to avoid tipping. Lift the load slowly, but only as far as necessary to retract the carriage completely. After bringing the load back fully, always bring the stabilizer pads up fully before backing away. Remember, never carry a load any higher than necessary. Always keep it low while on the go. That's it. You're ready to roll. Anytime you want to stop the piggyback's engine, just turn the key off. When delivering the piggyback or while on the job, safety is always your first priority. If you are delivering in residential areas, watch closely for pedestrians, especially children that may be drawn to the large truck and forklift. Also, avoid dips and curves when driving the truck. The rear wheel of the forklift extends beyond the back of the truck and may drag, causing damage. The piggyback material handler is engineered for maximum operating stability and safety, but you must always use caution and common sense when operating it. Learn and understand the meaning of all the safety warning stickers. For instance, this one points out potentially dangerous pinch points that can cause injury if you become careless. These warn of the potential dangers of standing on, under, or close to the forks while the piggyback is in operation. Check all the caution stickers on the piggyback and make sure everyone at your work site follows these strict safety procedures and those shown in the operator's manual. Accidents can be eliminated if we all work smart. As the operator, there are a few maintenance functions you should be familiar with. The first is how to check the oil. Pull the dipstick out. If the level is low, add oil. Make sure you use the oil recommended for this machine. Always check your fuel level. It would be embarrassing to run out on the job. When needed, fuel should be added here. Finally, check the hydraulic fluid level with this dipstick. If necessary, add hydraulic fluid. Never put diesel fuel in the hydraulic system. Once you are sure the hydraulic tank is properly filled, check the flow valve. There are two. If both have the flat side of their valve regulator in line with the hydraulic fluid flow, they're in proper position. You also want to periodically check your piggyback for stress cracks along welded joints. And check that the lifting chains are properly lubricated. Report any problems to your supervisor. That completes the basic maintenance checks. After unloading the materials, we are ready to load the piggyback. Just slide the forks into their proper position and up we go. Turn off the engine. After securing the piggyback on the far side, do the same on the driver's side. First, slide the safety locking bar in place. Plug in the DC power connector. Then attach the safety support chain. That's it. Both sides are properly secure and ready for transport. If you should have any questions about anything we have shown on this tape, then review the tape again or refer to the information in your operator's manual. We're sure if you're not already an expert, with just a little practice, you will be. Teledyne Princeton's piggyback material handlers, engineered to be the best. As an operator or dealer of the Teledyne Princeton piggyback material handler, it is important to inspect the machine daily. Inspection ensures that any damage, maintenance problems, or needed repairs are found before the piggyback goes into service. Any piggyback which fails inspection must be taken out of service until it can be made safe for operation. Daily inspection is not only a good idea, but is required by the Occupational Safety and Health Act. We recommend you establish a daily maintenance inspection program. Accompanying this video are guidelines for establishing your own planned maintenance program. Following a planned maintenance program is essential to your piggyback's safety, life, and performance. Only trained and authorized mechanics should do the planned maintenance programs. Do not make repairs or adjustments unless you are trained and authorized to do so. The following inspection procedures should be performed daily by the operator and at every planned maintenance interval by the service mechanic. Remove any jewelry or loose clothes that may get caught or snagged during your inspection. Tuck in your shirt tail. Wear safety glasses. Wear a hard hat if it is required in the area in which you are doing your inspection. Follow a daily or planned maintenance checklist. Teledyne Princeton provides both checklists in a form that is easy to use. First, make sure the piggyback is ready for truck mounting. Check the fork tube supports. Then check the frame support blocks. Inspect the chain hookups and safety mount kits. Then check the 7-pin wiring kit. Make sure none of these are damaged in any way. Before your inspection, make sure to lower the forks, lower the stabilizer legs, and remove the key from ignition. Next, look at the chassis, dash, and overhead guard. Note any cracked or broken frame members. Now, go to the front of the piggyback and inspect the horizontal carriage. Make sure the C-channel is clear of debris. Check for roller exposure. If front rollers are exposed more than the rear rollers, or if the carriage jams, the frame could be bent, or the carriage might need shimmed. Check the horizontal cylinder mounting pins and cotter keys. Inspect the dirt wipers on the carriage and make sure they are not damaged. Next, check the mast. Look at the rails, rollers, lift chains, and lift and tilt cylinders. Look for damage, missing parts, or loose parts or fittings. Make sure the rollers are not damaged or loose. Look for metal flakes in roller pathways. Check for missing or loose cylinder mounting bolts or cotter keys. Look for cracked or broken welds. Make sure the hydraulic fittings do not leak. Inspect all cylinder rods for scratches, grooves, or wear marks. Look for leaking cylinder seals. Check the ITA boards for any type of damage. Finally, check for missing or damaged fork stops. Every day, the mast chains must be checked for cracked or broken plates or pins. Be alert for any turned, raised, or seized pins. Check the chains for any rust or corrosion. The chain anchors must be carefully checked for breaks or wear. If rust is found on the chains, lubricate them. Any damaged chains must be replaced. Do not use the piggyback if there is any problem with the mast chains. Next, inspect the stabilizer cylinder mounting pins and cotter keys. Next, look at the torque hubs and front drive motors. If you detect a leak, do not operate the machine. Next, check the tires. Persons working on wheels and tires must be trained and authorized in wheel and tire maintenance. Tire pressure should be 40 psi. Check the tire pressure facing the tread, not the tire side. Use a long-handled gauge to keep your body away from the tire side. Check that wheel fasteners are tight. Remove any objects that may be stuck in the tires. Report any worn, cracked, or leaking tires. Now, inspect the air filter. Make sure that the inlet is free of debris. Inspect the rubber elbow, looking for cracks or cuts. Make sure the hose clamps are tight. If your model is liquid-cooled, check the coolant level. If your model is a 3-wheel drive, then check the steering cylinder for leaks. Next, check the fuel level. Do not use open flames to check the fuel level. When refueling, stop the engine. After refueling, replace fuel cap before starting engine. If a spill occurs, make sure it is cleaned up before starting the piggyback. Check for pinched fuel lines or other damage. Now check the engine oil with this dipstick. Fill following manufacturer's instructions. Correct hydraulic fluid level is important for proper hydraulic system operation. Low fluid level can cause pump damage. Park the piggyback on a level surface. Put the mast in a vertical position and fully lower inner mast. Check the hydraulic oil dipstick. Keep oil level above low mark on the gauge. Check the lubrication chart for correct type of fluid. Now, inspect the rest of the hydraulic lines and fittings. First, inspect the hoses for cuts or damage. Check the tank for leaks, loose fittings, or damage. Finally, make sure that the oil reservoir shutoff valves are open. Check the pumps for damage. Look for oil leaks, especially around the front pump at the bell housing. Make sure the pump fasteners and fittings are not loose or missing. Now go to the dash of your piggyback. Look under the dash for oil leaks, restricted airflow, or a plugged radiator. Remember, poor cooling could damage the engine, burn valves, and cause excess oil use. Inspect the top of the dash for any damage. Next, check the control valve. All functions should work freely and return to neutral. If your model is a three-wheel drive, the motion pedal should work freely and return to neutral. For the two-wheel drive model, the motion steer column should work and return to neutral. Finally, check the seat belt for wear or damage. Turn the lights on and make sure all four are working. Turn the key to the on position. Check the red charging light and the green low oil pressure light. They both should be working. Check the fuel gauge. Make sure it is functioning. Check the warning and safety devices. Push the horn button, making sure it sounds loud and clear. If your piggyback has other safety devices, such as flashing lights or a backup beeper, make sure they work properly. For the next part of our inspection, have the piggyback engine running. You must be a trained operator and have read the operator's manual before running this machine. Conduct the inspection away from people, ceilings, and other equipment. Know how to operate the piggyback and stay in the operator's position. Operate all functions on the control valve. They must all work and return to neutral. Extend the stabilizer legs to the ground. Extend and retract the carriage. Tilt the mast forward and then back. Raise the mast fully and then lower the mast fully. Retract the stabilizer legs. Check and make sure the motion pedal and steering column work freely and return to the neutral position. Inspect the accelerator pedal. Note any sticking or jerking. When released, the machine should return to an idle. To inspect the stabilizer arms and pads, lower the forks all the way down. Move the legs up and down. Report any jerking or sticking. Next, inspect the steering system. If your model is a two-wheel drive, the hand wheel should turn smoothly in both directions. Note any sticking, jerking, excess vibration, or noise. Make sure the machine does not move with the steering wheel in neutral. Check that the dolly lock engages and releases. Also, check that the steering column lock engages and that the machine does not move when engaged. For the three-wheel drive model, make sure the steering wheel and dolly move smoothly in both directions. Note any sticking, jerking, excess vibration, or noise. The engine should be shut off for the following procedures. First, check for hydraulic leaks. Do not use your hand to check for leaks. Use a piece of cardboard or paper. Fluid under pressure can penetrate the skin and cause serious injury. If fluid is injected into the skin, you should see a doctor immediately. Now, inspect the brakes. Remember that when the piggyback's engine is not running, the brakes will be on. A planned maintenance program also includes lubrication and greasing. Teledyne Princeton provides a lubrication schedule. It is important to keep the piggyback clean. A clean piggyback makes it easier to see leaks, loose, missing, or damaged parts. Finally, if you find any maintenance problems, report them to your supervisor. Following your daily and planned maintenance checklists ensures not only better performance from your piggyback, but a safer working environment. Once learned, the preventive maintenance inspections become a simple routine. Daily inspections and a planned maintenance program will give your piggyback a longer, safer life. If you have any questions about piggyback planned maintenance, review this tape again or contact Teledyne Princeton.